What's up, reefers? That's right, I got more reefing for you. It's right here. Come check it out. Alright, so here's a shot of these Milwaukee refractometers that I forgot to mention on my last video. That what is better than one? That's right, two Milwaukee refractometers, much better than one. That way, if I have any doubts on what is going on with one, I can use the other one to check the other one. That works pretty good with all testing as far as I'm concerned. And also the same thing why I have these two Hanna pH testers. And one thing I forgot to mention on this is that what's really good about it is the accuracy. It's really sharp accuracy of a 0.05. So that means if you have a pH of 8.3, it could be 8.35 or it could be 8.25. So really right in there, know exactly what it is. Whereas all of these other testers I see out there, they're really bad. They could be as high as plus or minus 0.2, which tells you next to absolutely nothing. If it's 8.3, oh, it could be 8.3, or it could be 8.5, or it could be 8.1. Total trash, right? So that's why I have these Hanna pH checkers of a 0.05. There's also another Hanna, but I believe some kind of checker, and it also has accuracy of 0.1. So that would just be barely useful as far as I'm concerned. And this 0.051 is the best of the best as far as that goes. So that's a problem with doing the adjusting your pH. It's just so dangerous on the one hand, and on the other hand, it's just the problem of getting accurate pH testing, because they have like the Hanna checker. Oh, I thought that the Hanna checker would be really good, like for the pH. It would be just as good as the alkalinity. No, it is not. The Hanna, it has the same plus or minus 0.2. So that and a lot of all the other pH testers out there are plus or minus 0.2 parts per million. So really low accuracy and not much of use. That's what I have to say about that, guys. Alright, so let's check out the 20-gallon quarantine, see what's going on. That's right, here it is. And I just tested nitrates and phosphates on this one. I dosed the nitrates up to 20 parts per million, and so it's still up there. Went up to 26, so it started going up on me instead of going back down. That was probably about a month ago or so. But the phosphates on this one are still going down, and I usually dose them up using the trisodium phosphate to 1 parts per million, but I forgot to, I overdosed it, so accidentally brought this one and my main display up to 2 parts per million on the phosphate. So not the end of the world. It shouldn't be toxic. I mean, it's always pulling it down on these systems, so on the amount that I'm adding and feeding. So not worried about it just from there. So it should be going down. The Duras is closing up right there a little bit, and I just fed these guys their live phytoplankton from Algae Barn, as well as their Benefits Reefroids mix. So a lot of times the clams will start to open and close a little bit when you do add the foods like that. And I have also noticed that when you do feed the clams enough, a lot, that you will start to see clam poop. That's right, clam poop start coming out of the little exit hole there. So one thing to keep an eye and look out for as you feed them. And here's a shot of the Hippopus that I was trying to get a shot of last time, and it was closed. Now it's opened up, but not fully extended, just probably halfway open, I would say. Yeah, but hopefully you do good there, make it. I think it's just about getting enough food. Some people think, oh, it's the lighting, that they just have to blast them with the light and they're not getting the light and that's why they're not living. I think it's more that they can, that sure they need their light, but they just, I mean, it is possible to give them too much light. I did have a Corsair where I just put them straight under one of those small Kessel 160s, and that's just their 40 watt light, right? So, but I just blasted it down a straight laser beam straight down to the poor crochet, and I think that's what killed it. You know, I have no scientific evidence that that's what it was, but I think that that's what it was. I just put it all the way down right there, and then one more stressor possibly. There's just too much light, so it is possible. I mean, they want light. It's just like, you know, SBS Acropora light, and would be the highest that they could take, and you know, and depending on the type of clam, then they could do a lot less. Of course, the squamosas are a lot less, down to you know, they could I didn't, you know, 100 pars just fine for them. I would assume around in there, and these other guys like Hippopus and the Croceas and the Maximas, they liked around, you know, the 200 plus, probably okay for them. So the Squamosa is probably the same as about the Dorasa there. So that's what I got as far as the clams. Everything else. Oh yeah, the alkalinity. We're talking about alkalinity. So one thing about it is that what is alkalinity? People talk about it as if it's like some type of element. You're adding calcium and you're adding alkalinity or something that is an actual physical thing that is changing in the aquarium, like the calcium or magnesium. But no, it is not one type of substance. What it is just the amount that your pH is buffered. How difficult or how easy it is to change your pH. Therefore, you can, that's why if you have a real low alkalinity, then it is very easy to change your pH. So the bad side of that is that, I mean, can it hurt the corals having a really, really low alkalinity? Well, in theory, if your pH doesn't change, then what's the harm of that? That's the whole point. That if your alkalinity is so low, it means your buffering is so low, the pH is really easy to change. Oh God, that's what you're measuring, right? But if it never changes, then you're fine. So, by the reverse logic, if you increase your alkalinity higher and higher and higher, so, well, is that a bad thing? Let's see. You're saying that the pH is really, really hard to change. Okay, well, what's wrong with that? That's a good thing, right? I think so. So in theory, it goes all the way up, and it's more of a good thing. So I don't see any disadvantage of it. However, that's in theory. In practice, there might be some of the actual buffers are in the water, and they might be in there, you know, as a substance. And these substances, I don't know if they're like some type of buffer carbonates, and that can irritate and you know, poison your corals or something. So I have a feeling though that it is certainly more overblown, and that high alkalinity is probably almost harmless, depending on how high we're talking about, I suppose. However, like I mentioned on this one right here, just from adding the balance, it's bumped it up to 12 alkalinity. And I've had some, when I was running the nano smaller, my 3-gallon reef, it went up to I think 13 or 14 alkalinity when I was adding to the same thing, the pH buffer. So that's in theory though, so I'm not a scientist, don't quote me on this guys, but something to think about, food for thought. There we go. So what can we do with the alkalinity? There it is. But I'm testing and trying out the balance like I had told you from Aqua Vitro. It's the one all-in-one dosing solution that also raises your pH without increasing your alkalinity and calcium. But I just do not think, you know, probably for most reefers out there, it's just not worth it to be able to adjust your pH. It's just too dangerous using any types of chemicals like that, whether it's the balance, or whether it's some of the other buffers out there, or if you're using the Kalkwasser. That's right, Kalkwasser sucks. I said it. I don't know A lot of people out there probably agree, absolutely hate using it. Sick of it. It is just way too diluted. It's the only good thing about it is cheap. That I'll get is cheap, but it is the least inconvenient of everything. I prefer to just pay for the convenience to be able to use the Alpha Reef that's super concentrated, and it's just marvelous that it is really non-caustic, which is really good as far as using it, especially if you're using a dosing pump, have it hooked up to your pump and your lines and everything, that it's not going to burn up all the lines. So it seems very superior as far as I'm concerned. However, I think that it probably could be good to bump it up to just have some soft buffers in there up to 8.3 would be perfectly fine, and at the tops have 8.4. If they had the same type of Alpha Reef that would do that, that would be good, like I was saying. Right, yellow thing, that's right. What's going on? There he is. Still doing good, bigger and bigger, eating his nori. I also got, let's check him out. He's going over here. I got his nori little clip over here, two little fishies, convenient little clips that they have. And using the method here, got to give a Vic at Worldwide Corals with the tip on how to fold up the nori. This guy doesn't like it super tight, but they always get up the clip like that, just a little on there so it doesn't pull it out all the way, and not all the way in there we can't get it out either. So it's nice to be able to adjust it just the way you want it. And what else do we got? I guess that's it. Let's check it out. What have we got? This is the Kryptonite candy cane. Gotta love it. I got it with just one polyp. Now lots of polyps on. I'm doing good. I put them right here in the corners, thinking he might grow bigger there. And got those guys. Got the mandarin. Two mandarins doing good. There's the one. I think it's probably the female right here. It's like the male kicks the female out towards the front, looking for the copepods. And the green, the Goniastria brain, and then my two other Goniastria brains right here. I think it's like a rainbow, and then the splatter, green splatter. Gotta love it. Getting a little bigger. And this is my Turbonaria. I think he's really burned up. I don't know if it was the balance that I had in there or something else, but he's burned a little bit, or just certainly not very happy about the situation there. So everybody else though doing good, doing the same. Christmas tree, warm rock. There's Christmas trees, clams, doing the same. And hammer garden flowers. What else? We already went through every hammers with hammers, elegance with elegance corals, bubbles with bubble, pretty much like with likes. Alright guys, well I guess that's it. Just a quick update. Oh, do check out the coral scrubber. I think I turned the light on this time. What do we got? Light. That's right, with the protein skimmer. So let's check it out. What do I got down here? Coralline algae. That's right, all this pink coralline algae. Absolutely doing crazy. I got my pumps, pumped, and everything just getting crusted with the coralline algae down here. So finally took over, especially on the crushed coral. Really tough to get that crushed coral established like that. At least 6 months, and the coralline algae growing all over, as well as all of the rocks. So it's funny that it's growing a lot more down here than on top though. It's kind of died back. It'll probably be coming back though. And got just a few of these was it blastomusa down here. Got a little frag of the Raja rampage right there. It died back on me, it's starting to come back, so hopefully it'll just come back little by little. And it's got a few little things on here, mushroom and those gonioporas and the orange setosa. Alright, so that's it guys. I guess this quick update, but check you on the next one. And look out for that pH, that it doesn't come in, kill, and bite your corals again too high. All right, happy reef. Oh, yeah, you can talk about what about pH? One thing I forgot to mention though is that it's you want to keep it at 8.2 or higher, so you don't want to let it go under 8.2 in theory. And it drops down in the morning. So like on mine, the main display right there, the lowest is we drop down to 8.2 in the early morning, and then on the 20-gallon quarantine system, it goes all the way down to 8. So that one was definitely gets a little bit lower, but I just don't think it's worth it to be. That's why they say chasing your pH. Don't want to chase your pH. That's it. You don't want to be adjusting your pH in that sense. So that's just doesn't seem to be worth it to be adjusting or chasing the pH, and you want to just be adjusting the alkalinity. It's just much safer and just a much easier way to reef. All right, guys, happy reefing. Bye.